Hello friends and welcome to Knowledge by Nature. In today's video, I want to show you what we are planning to do for Christmas school or holiday school, whatever you might call it. So if you're interested to see what we're planning to do, be sure and stick around. Welcome back. If this is your first time here, I am a homeschool mom to a third grader. We love all things books, homeschool, and sharing our journey with you. And if that is something that you are interested in, I would love if you consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you enjoy this video, give me a thumbs up. As you can see, I kind of have a table full here. And it looks like a lot, but it's really not. We are enjoying it so far. We've already started it. It's December 2nd, the day that I'm recording this. So we are 2 days officially into full-blown holiday Christmas school. The main thing that we are doing this year is A Christmas Carol. And I apologize, I may have some crazy shadowing going on right now, but I just wanted to bring it all in here to this table. And so we are going to read through the entire unabridged version, and we are following along on a unit study with the Little World Wanderers. We go through this for 5 weeks. We read a chapter each week, and then there are different crafts that we do, different recipes that we follow. We will do different Christmas timelines for studying historical facts about Christmas and the Charles Dickens story and all of that stuff, as well as doing some poetry, some carols, and then there are additional read alouds. So I was able to pick up almost everything from the library, and the other one I was able to find on YouTube. But like I said, yeah, we're just going through and we're reading one chapter a week and doing the prompts that are part of the unit study. Something that I added in is, since we're only doing one chapter a week, I went ahead and I added an independent read aloud for her. This is one of those easy classics that I picked up from the book outlet quite a while ago. We love this series. So we have the whole Dickens collection, but this will be the first one that she's read from the Dickens collection, but we have read other ones from this same sort of series. We really like this, and what's fun is that it kind of has these crazy goofy pictures with it that she was kind of getting a kick out of, which is much different than the beautiful images that are in here. But after we read the whole chapter together, I went ahead and on a different day had her read the first chapter to me. But that is what we did, and I'm liking that. That way she's getting it twice and she's really able to comprehend it, because this is a little bit, because it is Charles Dickens, it's just a little bit different verbiage than we might use today. So having her read along with it, I really like this, and it's going well. Originally, I thought this would be all that we would do. We would do the Christmas Carol, and then that would kind of be it as far as holiday school went, but I decided that I'm just going to embrace it this year, and we are going to continue doing some other things too. The next thing that I did is I added a new book for us this year. This is How Winston Delivered Christmas. This is an Advent book, and so one chapter a day, and they're very short chapters, and then each chapter follows with a little craft. So the first day we had a little reading, and then we had a craft of write a letter to Santa Claus. Today we had another very small little reading about Winston, and then she was able to craft Winston. She absolutely loved doing this. It was really easy and quick, and she loved it. Let me show it to you. Here is Winston the little mouse. He was super cute and fun to make. She absolutely loved doing this. I will just take these crafts as they come. If we like the idea, we'll do it. If not, we're just going to enjoy the little story with it. So this is something else that we are doing for holiday school. All right, up next, we are doing the Jan Brett Christmas study from Build Your Library. I bought this, I think, 2 years ago, and I decided to use it again this year. I think it's geared for from littles, maybe preschoolish to second grade, but I thought this year One, the books are beautiful, and I thought we could get into it just a little bit deeper and we could add to it a little bit. So here is one, it's on the gingerbread baby. And one of the things that we did was we did a Venn diagram where we compared the Jan Brett story to one of our other versions of the gingerbread man. So we were able to compare what happened with the gingerbread man versus the gingerbread baby. And there was copy work that I went ahead and just had her add to the back. This particular book here comes with a little sheet where you decorate the gingerbread house. There is a recipe for making gingerbread cookies, which we're going to do this weekend. And then there were also some vocabulary words that went along with this specific book. Now, I went ahead and pulled 2 more versions of the gingerbread. I actually have quite a few. I didn't realize I had so many. I even have one more that I didn't pull. But we may read these this weekend just as another quick comparison with these 2. We won't do the Venn diagram or anything, but just as to show her. Something else that was talked about in this specific activity is how this is called a circle story, where you begin and end at the same place. The example book that was given was If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. Well, I couldn't find my book of that, so I pulled If You Give a Pig a Pancake. And this gave her a visual and an idea of how these are circle stories. We started at the kitchen and we circled back around at the end of the book in the kitchen again. Same thing here. They actually started in the kitchen, ended in the kitchen. Really, really fun. Now, there are more with this Jan Brett unit study. We have the 12 Days of Christmas, the Wild Christmas Reindeer, and Who's That Knocking on Christmas Eve. This one, I believe, talks about the Arctic, and I actually have a free printable that I got from At the Waldock Way. If you're not following her, I'll put a link down below. Every month, she sends out free printables to her subscribers and her followers on her email, and she's got a little reindeer study this year. So I'm going to print it off, use what I want to out of it, and so whatever week I decide to do this one, I'm thinking next week, I will add that in there. I will add that to this. And then I haven't decided when I'm going to do these 2. If I am remembering correctly, we didn't actually even finish this one the first time that we did the unit study. So I may prioritize this one over this one as far as actually doing the unit study part, but read all of them. And again, I will take the activities and anything that comes with this with our schedule. If it's too busy, I'm not going to stress about it. It's just options that I've pulled and I think I'm going to like to do this year. Now, we're also reading this, The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. It's a very, very small little chapter book. Yesterday, we actually co-read this together where I read one side of the page and she reads the other side of the page. That's a really nice way to share some reading together. If you haven't done that with your reader, I would highly recommend it because it's just a really, really nice way for them to get some good reading in, but also a nice break. You could even read 2 pages to their 1, however you want to do it. In addition to the independent read that she has of Charles Dickens, because it's only 1 chapter a week, I have added in Flat Stanley, and this is Stanley's Christmas Adventure. These are really fun. She's read quite a few of these. We actually read this a year or 2 ago as a read aloud, but this year she's doing it as an independent read. And if she's not reading her Christmas Carol book that day, she will read this book. And we likely won't co-read much of this together anymore since I have went ahead and assigned this as an independent reader. It all depends on the day though, to be honest. Now for a few extra fun activities, we have this 101 Ho-Ho holiday jokes. She is at the perfect age for this year. She is loving it. She has read so many to me already today, and I think she'll probably be reading this to anybody that walks into our home, and she's really, really having a fun time with this. So if you have an 8-9-year-old, this is really hitting the mark this year. I have had this for quite a few years. This will be the last year I'm going to store this in my home. Anything that we do not do from this, I'm going to go ahead and pass along to someone else, put it in a little free little library. But it is a highlight set that has little books in it, a little Christmas puzzle. There's just quite a few little different activities, games, puzzles. But again, we have had this for quite some time. I think probably this will be our last year that we get much good out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it along for someone else to enjoy next year. I love paint by stickers. She does as well. So I always try to have a themed one. I have the Christmas theme. So what we do throughout the year is we pull a few of them out. She does them, and whichever ones she gets finished for the year, she does. And then the ones that don't get finished, we put back away and pull it out again at the holidays. I have pulled all of the Christmas reads that I could find that we own. We will also be borrowing from the library. I actually have 2 that I'm about to be returning. The Spider Who Saved Christmas. This was a beautiful book. We absolutely loved this book. And then A Simple Christmas on the Farm. Again, beautiful, loved it. They were both really, really great reads, and I may add them both to our personal library one of these days, but right now they're going back to the library and we may borrow them again before the year's over. Now from our personal library, I have a little board book. This is a small child's board book. I don't know how much longer I'll keep this in our collection. It's really hard to get rid of seasonal books, because I think it's just always fun to cuddle up and read things. But Duck and Goose, it's time for Christmas. This is a level 1 reader, and it is Secret Santa. So you can see what the words look like here. They're quite big, and there's very few on them. But I thought it would be fun for her to read nonetheless. Berenstain Bears, personal favorite here. This is actually 2 books in one. We have the Berenstain Bears Mad, Mad, Mad Toy Craze and the Berenstain Bears Meet Santa Bear. I also have the Berenstain Bears Get Ready for Christmas. Let It Snow is a Christmas book because the 2 little pigs are trying to find a present or a gift for one another. So originally I was like, oh, that's a winter book. But then I remembered that, in fact, it did have the gift giving in it. So I went ahead and moved that over into our reading for the holidays. How to Catch an Elf. This is a fun series. We enjoy all of those. Maisie Makes Gingerbread. Here's another one of my gingerbread books. Mistletoe. Fun. Oh, I didn't actually mean to leave all of these in, but I had them set aside. They're just different Christmas stickers and little fun decorative things. So I have all of this together because this was in our basket. This goes with our St. Bernard book, which is actually not in this stack at the moment. It's over at the side. And then we have the Elf Pets, a reindeer tradition. So this goes with the Elf Pets St. Bernard. We have the reindeer, the Elf Pets, and Arctic Fox tradition. The Very First Christmas. This is actually a read to me book that her grandparents had gotten for her. It does not work anymore, so we still read it together, and sometimes they might duo and read it together. The Polar Express, The Magic Journey. The Donkey Who Carried a King. And Snowmen at Christmas. So like I said, I will definitely be adding more library books along the way, and I just think reading together during the Christmas time is the best way to spend some time together. So as you can see, I have lots of options to cover. I feel like I'm going to be covering handwriting and language arts. In fact, as we were doing the gingerbread unit study today, she pointed out something and she was like, oh yes, that's the subject of the sentence and that's capitalized because it's a proper noun. Boom, got it, check mark, loving it. So we'll also be doing our Generation Genius box that has experiments in it. We have our KiwiCo that has some experiments in it. So if we're not baking or crafting and we want to throw in some science in there, we can definitely do that. I am also planning to randomly use these. This is a free printable from 1,000 Hours Outside. Goodness, is that what it's called? I'll link it here for sure what it is, and I'll put it down in the description below. But this is a little nature advent thing. So for example, make and hang bird feeders, a snowball lantern, hike with friends. I'm going to use these as I see that it fits in our day, our week, our month. I'm certainly not going to do all 24 of them, but as the weather permits, as time allows, I am going to add a few of these in. That will also give us some science. Now, I am not going to leave math to the side, but we are going to be doing it differently. I brought this as something to show you. We are doing times tables, and this is where she's going to be practicing her times facts. And this is a really, really fun way to do it. There are 2 parts to it. We are on part 1. Next week we will start part 2, but we're just going to keep doing that as well as Beast Academy. This is just a fun little game where she rolls these, and there is a story that goes with these numbers, and she will say it, she'll know it, and she can tell me that 9 times 4 is 36, but she's going to know it because of a really fun way that the times tables taught her. This was totally worth the money. She has gotten so many facts down so quickly. They have it to where you can do the more difficult ones of like 6, 7, 8, 9. They also have it to where you can purchase the whole thing where you're learning from 0 to 12, or maybe you need your uppers of 11 to 12. Multiple options for purchasing it. I only did the digital version where we have the video that she watches for 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then we have printables that we can use. We have this little game that we're able to use. So that is what we're doing for math. So math and science, math is definitely not going to get ignored during this time. We are going to be doing something math all month long, but it is going to be more in the form of these times tables and in the Beast Academy where we're working on our multiplication. The very last thing that we're throwing in, and at this point you may be like, girl, you realize there's only like 25 days, but I'm using it as works for us. If it's too much, we don't do it. If we feel like we have more things that we want to do, we have options. Here is our other elf pet book, by the way, and we have a little visitor back there. But I did want to show you this. This is a really cute little Disney book advent calendar, and so we have also started doing this month, and this is something we just curl up and read first thing of a morning before we ever really get to doing anything. And so today it was Peter Pan, Christmas in Neverland. So you have these 24 little books. They're actually like a solid book. It's a good little story most of the time. So we just put them back in there, and then at the end of the month, we'll have read all 24 little books. From our family to yours, I hope that you have a wonderful Christmas season together. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and we'll see you in our next one. Bye!